Getting ready to paint my new clear body for my Traxxas Slash 4x4 Platinum, and starting out with a clear body. We're going to wash the inside with soap and water, get it nice and clean, prepare for the paint surface so that the paint will stick good. And this is a Desert Rat for Proline. I kind of like it because it has lots of different sections to kind of decide how you want to do a color scheme, if you want to follow the contours of the body. Also, it has these cool little shapes right here. You can do a special paint design there. It has little side mirrors that kind of protrude out. Looks aerodynamic, pretty neat. Like it. And more areas to do some more details if you prefer to spend the time on doing details. I'm going to coat this inside with liquid masking so I can get the inside covered with plastic, and then I can trim out for the details. Alright, here's what it looks like when you get one coat of the liquid masking film. It's all white and milky. I used a brush. They recommend you use a spraying machine. I don't have one, so I'm using a brush. It says sprayed on heavy, so it says 2 heavy coats and allow 1 to 2 hours to dry. I have a ceiling fan on, and this is within 5 minutes it's already starting to dry. So this is what it looks like, the liquid masking. Okay, I finished letting the liquid mask dry. It dries fairly clear, and then after all the streaks dry up, I let it dry for a couple days actually, because I'm not in a rush now. And what I did is, when I flipped it over, this has already been painted a little bit for some details. I wanted to spray paint my side mirrors silver, the windshield visor silver, and there's a little piece of trim right here that I wanted silver. The shocks on the side, I wanted those silver, and a little detail for the rear fin, I wanted that silver. So what I did is I took the hobby knife and I cut the liquid mask out right where I wanted my silver paint to go. So these are the shocks on the inside, so I trimmed out around, where I wanted the shocks to be silver. I pulled out the plastic liquid masking after I trimmed it with the hobby knife. So I did a little slot here because I wanted that trim to be silver, and I did the same for this little spoiler. Same thing with the hood, the windshield visor. Trimmed it and then pulled out the plastic, and then I spray painted the silver in just those areas. And of course I got overspray in other areas, but that doesn't matter because it's already masked, it's being protected. Another thing I did do is after I figured out my color scheme, I marked the areas like with a silver Sharpie, so I would remember I wanted this to be silver. These areas I marked them with Sharpie. Now this area I'm trying something that I've never done before, and I used the Sharpie on the inside to kind of outline the springs and the boundaries of all these shock mechanism areas to, it's kind of juvenile, but we'll see what it looks like when it's painted and done. It might stand out better. Now I have black markings on the outside where I want to black paint. So this has a nice detail on the side, and I kind of just did a quick sketch of where I want black, just to keep the color scheme fresh in my mind. So it's got roll bars here that are going to be black. So that's what I did. This is one step where I painted the silver. Okay, I finished cutting out the areas that I want to paint black, and I left the areas that I'm going to paint the primary color. You can see how it's kind of blurry, foggy, whatever, and then it's clear where I'm going to paint the black. So I'm going to paint black around the outline of the windshield and the windows. I also have a little details in the back right here. This is the roll bar, more bar along the back, and the configuration of the roll bars. then the fin, you can see it's clear. So I'm getting ready to paint it black. Also, when you look from the top, you can see some details where I'm going to paint black to kind of have a little black all the way down. So this is the next step. This is the inside. I replaced the little tape here where I cut out a little too much, so I stuck some tape here so I can make it straight. Also on the side, painted these little, cut out these little accents. It's going to look really nice when the whole thing is completed. So I'm going to go paint. Alright, this is the color I'm going to use. I'm just going to use backing color. It's black, backing black, RC304, and I shook it up. Make sure you shake it really good. The little marble that's inside, you let it, make sure you shake it across the bottom, because when you get it sitting like this, all that paint pigment goes to the bottom, so you got to make sure you do it a little bit like this, up and down and all that. So when you're going to paint, make sure that you paint in a well ventilated area and that you hold the body vertically like this, upright. So you hold your can upright when you're spray painting, and then you always keep the can spray moving so you don't create runs. You don't want the paint to bunch up. You want it to be even. So you always keep your spray can moving. And again, the first coat you don't have to do real heavy. You want to try to seal the edges of the tape or the masking. And look for those little hidden areas. Spray a little let off. And again, it doesn't have to be 100% this time, because I'm going to come back and hit it a second and third time. And then when you're done, invert the can so it sprays out all the paint and it cleans the tip at the same time. When you run out of paint, you'll hear it. No more paint will come out. Let that dry. Paint another coat. Here's what it looks like painted, and it still has the masking on it. Turned out okay. Could have been better. You can see the areas painted in black now. I'm going to go ahead and take off masking, the rest of it, so I can paint the primary color next. Alright, I'm a little bit over halfway through the process of taking off the liquid masking, and I'm running into an issue of it would appear that the liquid mask might need a few more coats to come off better, because some areas when it's really, I guess, thinner, it tears before you can get a good full sheet off, and it becomes difficult to get off. So I'm maybe recommending to try to go thicker, like 5 to 6 coats maybe, because I only put on 3 coats. Even though they recommend 2, I put 3. In some areas it's rather annoying to try to get it off because it tears instead of peeling in one sheet. Some areas like the hood, it came off in one sheet, but some areas around the fenders and areas that were kind of might have been thinner, it was very difficult to get off. So I'm spending too much time trying to get this liquid masking off, so I recommend a thicker coat. I'm going to try that next time and see if it works any better, and I'm going to continue peeling off the masking. Alright, I got it all off. So next step, I'm going to clean it thoroughly, make sure I don't have any little specks of liquid mask stuck in places, because if you leave the liquid mask in some places, you know, when you paint the primary color, it's going to stick out like a dot. Smudges and stuff like that are going to show up when you paint the final coat. So I'm going to thoroughly wash it, and then I'll start applying the primary color. Alright, here we have the final color painted on. I got 2 coats on, and I'm going to paint the rest of my paint can on the body, and then I'll be spraying the black backing across the whole body to set the color, make it strong. It looks good. Alright, I finished painting the underside black. So the painting part is all done. So what I'm going to do now is take off the masking over the windows, with the windshield and side windows, and then take off the clear coating, protective coating on the outside, and do a little close-up video. Took off the masking for the windshield and the windows, took off the protective coating, and here you have the finished paint job. Alright, there it is, finished with all the decals. Turned out really nice. Definitely not a perfect paint job, but first time using the masking, it worked out good. Learned some do's and don'ts about the liquid masking.
Praying for you. Praying for you. He's praying for you. Praying for you. He's praying